What's going on, guys? This is Josh and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little different than what I normally do. This is going to be more of a how-to video. So yesterday I got home, my AC was not working properly. My house was warm. And as I investigated, I noticed that there's some frost or some freezing around some of the pipes around my AC unit. And I knew that wasn't normal. So I did like I always do. I went on the internet. The internet's an amazing place. For me, I like to try to figure things out on my own instead of calling a professional. A lot of times you can figure it out yourself. Sometimes, worst comes to worst, you have to call on somebody and have a professional do it if that's not something that you can do. But in this video, I'm going to show you 3 easy steps on what to check if you're having the same issues. If your pipes are freezing and your house isn't getting cool like it's supposed to, this is an easy, sure way to check what's going on. So first, I'm going to take you out to the outside unit and show you exactly what I'm talking about with the pipes freezing. So you can see here that there's some freezing on some of these pipes. That's not normal. Back in here, you can also see some of the pipes inside are freezing. All right, so let me take you indoors and show you exactly what's going on inside. Okay, so as you can see, same sort of thing. The pipes are freezing. This is my AC unit. It's a Bryant. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to shut off the air conditioning and run the fan because that will defrost some of these pipes. And then I'm going to take this panel off and show you what's going on inside. Alright, so the AC is turned off. It hasn't kicked off yet, but we'll just go ahead and power this down and we'll start taking these off. Very simple to take off. All you need is either a screwdriver or a ratchet, and we're going to take these off. Alright, so let me find a flashlight really quick. But this is basically your evaporator coil. It's looking good now, it's not frozen, but yesterday this thing was completely frozen up. I mean, everything down there was all frozen up. So there's a good indication that it's dirty. This is one of the first things you want to check right after you check the filter. The filter is going to be the #1 thing. A lot of times the filter is just dirty. Change the filter, which you can see the filter here. I'll show you how to get to the filter here. You just very simple, pull that off. Of course, we just changed the filter, so I know this is clean. It's a fairly clean filter, so that's not going to be the issue. But we'll go ahead and keep this out because we're going to be working. So it doesn't look too dirty, but a lot of times the other side, the underside, is going to be what's dirty. And to get to that, access that, there's another panel here that we're going to have to get to. We're just going to get some of these bolts, take them off to get to the underside. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so this is the evaporation coil, or the evaporator coil that I showed you before. Took the panel off, and now you can see the underside. And sure enough, it's pretty filthy. It's not completely thawed though, so we're going to let that thaw out a little more, and we'll get to cleaning it, and I'll show you what I have to clean it. Alright, this is the stuff we bought to clean it. This was like $7 at Lowe's. You can probably get it from any home store. But it is coil cleaner. Cleans air conditioning, heat pumps, condenser, and evaporator coils. It's going to have all the directions on there, show exactly what you need to do. Alright, so we're reading here, it says turn system off or disconnect power. We've already done that. Shake can well. Spray liberally on condenser fins or evaporator coils. Allow cleaner to break down residue and dirt for several minutes. Rinse off with spray of water. For heavy buildup, repeat application. It says you can use this up to 2 times a year. Allow time for coils to dry before restarting system. And that's pretty much it. So easy enough. We're going to spray this on the coils. Alright, as you can see, we're completely dethawed now. There's no frosting on the pipes there or on the coil itself. So, well, it's kind of dark there, but we'll go ahead and get started on cleaning this thing out. right, so there it is. Got it cleaned. I'm gonna do a side-by-side of what it looked like before compared to what it looks like now. I didn't realize it was so dirty until I got to cleaning it. It was pretty filthy, so I'm pretty confident that this is gonna be what it needed. I will say, if you use the brush like I did, just make sure you use a soft brush. You don't want to damage these fins, and just be very gentle when you're doing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna get this thing back together, and we're gonna see how it works. We'll wait here in about a couple hours, because usually it doesn't take long for it to freeze up. So I'd say about 2 hours. We're gonna come back, check it out. That should give it plenty of time to see if it actually worked. We got her all put back together. The last thing you want to do is make sure you put that filter back in. Again, this is the first thing you want to check. If this filter is dirty, either replace it if you have a disposable one, or clean it if it's a reusable. So once we get that put in, and I'll put this door on. My door is a little tricky, so I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, you can go ahead and cut the switch back on. And we'll get this air turned back on. We'll make sure we get it on auto and cool. And we'll report back in about 2 hours.
2 hours later.
All right, so a couple hours have gone by, and you can see there is no frost, no icing on the AC. Let's go outside and check out the outdoors. You can see there's no ice, no frost down here. If you remember at the beginning of the video, that was all iced up. Also down in here. No longer. All right, so there you go. It worked for me. So to go over the steps, the first thing you want to do is check your filter. Make sure your filter is clean. If you have a disposable filter, get rid of that thing and replace it. If you have a reusable filter, just clean it out. That's first step. Step number 2 is to do what we did today, which is to clean the evaporator coil. Those things get gunked up, they need cleaned. In fact, the bottle says that you should do it regularly, so don't wait for a hot day. Luckily we have a nice day today, but don't wait for a hot day for it to go out or not work properly, and you're just miserable. Just clean it every once in a while, and you'll likely avoid that problem. The third step, unfortunately, is to call a professional, because sometimes you need Freon. Sometimes that's just the problem. You're just out of Freon. So you'll want to call a professional, have them come in and take a look at it. If you're comfortable doing something like this, do it, give it a shot. I would like to make it clear that I am not a professional. I am just a homeowner who does his research and tries to figure things out on his own. I'd rather figure something out, learn a new trade, learn a new skill before I give money to someone else. But again, if you're not comfortable with this, pay a professional. There's no harm in that. They'll likely do the same thing that I just did, but they'll guarantee their work. So, you know, there's no harm in doing that. If this video helped you, make sure you leave a like and a comment. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments on how I did things the wrong way, but it works for me. So do your research, figure it out yourself, because it's a lot more rewarding than paying someone to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.